12 News, a business blossomed out of ideas for kids. We'll take you to Plymouth to meet the moms who started it. Plus, keeping walkers and bikers on the same path and same frame of mind. What park officials are doing to get everyone to share the trail. But first, an armed robbery case in Brooklyn Park that police call unusual. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A Brooklyn Park police officer was in the right place at the right time this weekend to stop a criminal in the act. It happened Friday night at the Super America off County Road 81 in Jolly Lane. And Cassie Bonstrom joins us now with the latest. Cassie?
The officer was on his way to a medical call when he pulled into the Super America parking lot to turn around. That's when someone ran up to his squad to alert him that there was an armed man inside the store holding an 8 to 10-inch butcher knife and robbing the store clerks.
The officer called for backup, indicated what was going on to his partners in a dispatch, and then approached the store. At that point, he seen the suspect was getting ready to exit the store, and he confronted him.
The suspect took off running to a nearby parking lot where he jumped in a getaway car. After a short pursuit, the car was stopped and the man was arrested. He's been identified as 23-year-old Paul Mueller of Milltown, Wisconsin. Police say he was found with $400 in cash. They say it is rare for an officer to catch a criminal in the act like that.
For a robbery to get caught in the act like this by a police officer to be at the right place at the right time is a little unusual, but he just happened to be driving by at the moment the robbery was occurring.
Now, fortunately, no one was injured in the robbery. Mueller was charged today with first-degree aggravated robbery. He is currently in the Hennepin County Jail, Mike.
All right, Cassie, thank you. A Robbinsdale teen has admitted to intentionally setting several fires because he was bored. 18-year-old Elton Brooks is charged with third-degree arson. A police officer spotted Brooks on a bike in a residential alley setting a garbage can on fire that spread to a detached garage. Brooks had several lighters in his possession when he was arrested. You can see the damage from other recent arson cases. Brooks confessed to setting a fire in the 3900 block of Orchard Avenue in Robbinsdale. He also admitted to 5 other garbage can fires in Robbinsdale as well as 2 arsons in Crystal. Brooks told police that both of his parents had night jobs, so he would go out at night and sometimes set fires because he was bored. Brooklyn Center City officials tonight will consider asking MnDOT to include an upgrade of Highway 252 in the state's transportation plan. The 4-mile section of road has one of the highest crash rates in the Twin Cities. A technical advisory group from MnDOT, Brooklyn Park, and Brooklyn Center has determined that the highway must be converted from an expressway to a freeway to meet growing traffic needs. Right now, 70,000 vehicles travel the road every day, and that number is expected to grow when Highway 610 connects with Interstate 94. MnDOT started a freeway corridor study of Highway 252 back in January. There's a major ramp closure to warn you about in Maple Grove. MnDOT has closed the exit ramp from eastbound I-94 to Weaver Lake Road. The suggested detour is the Maple Grove Parkway ramp. The detour will be in place until mid-October while construction crews rebuild the Weaver Lake Road ramp. There's progress on a regional trail that's been under construction this summer in Robbinsdale. Pavement from Victory Memorial Parkway north to Crystal Lake and most of the work on the boardwalk there has been finished. City officials believe the boardwalk will be a big draw, and with connections to Victory Memorial Parkway on one end of Robbinsdale and Lower Twin Lake on the other, officials expect to see more bicycle usage. But the work isn't finished yet, and Three Rivers Parks officials say you should watch out for trucks and other machinery still working along that trail. Ultimately, the trail will continue northwest through Brooklyn Park, Osseo, and Maple Grove and connect to the Elm Creek Park Reserve. Completion date is set for October 31st. Well, speaking of trails, the Three Rivers Park District is rolling out a campaign to keep bikers and pedestrians safe. Reporter Sonia Goins headed to Maple Grove to show us what the park system is doing.
We have approximately 275,000 people a year on this trail.
There were plenty of people out on the Rush Creek Regional Trail on a beautiful Monday morning. They were enjoying the last few days of summer.
She loves outdoors. I can't keep her in the house.
Ron Johnson and his granddaughter Emma walk this trail often.
Since I got her, I always go walking down here.
He says he always stays on the right side of the trail to make room for cyclists.
Bikers yell to the left and they go around, so I haven't had any problem with anybody on this trail.
And that's the message the Three Rivers Park District is trying to get out. They recently launched a program called Share the Trail.
So this is our just general share the trail message.
Signs like these are posted along the trails throughout the system. The goal is to educate folks on trail etiquette.
There's different people using the trail, they're moving at different speeds, so it's important that we all stay safe and be aware of one another.
Now this trail is only 10 feet wide. Add 2 or 3 people to one side, and you can see how it can become pretty crowded.
I mean, everybody should have rights to share the trails and stuff like that, so.
Mike Ikeson says he often sees walkers hogging the trail space.
Lots of times there's huge families that just take up the entire trail and stuff like that, and they're just inconsiderate and stuff like that, and then some of them get mad and stuff like that, so.
It's important that they follow the rules to keep everyone safe.
There are stop signs to remind people of the stop signs.
There's stop signs at all the individual bike path areas there, and they can just go right through them sometimes.
Cyclists also have a responsibility to alert pedestrians.
Just call out on your left that you're going to be passing that walker so that they know, so that you don't startle them.
Whether you're running, walking, or biking, officials want folks to communicate with each other so everyone can enjoy the trails.
Yeah, this is all about safety. We want everyone to enjoy the resource. We want them to share the resource.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Ads are also being featured on local websites and throughout park facilities. And for more information on trail etiquette, you can check out our website. Just go to 12.tv.
Your new Miss America is Miss Georgia.
The Miss America 2016 crown headed south, not north this year. Betty Cantrell is the first winner from Georgia since the 1950s. Miss Minnesota, Rachel Ladoff, missed the cut. Ladoff used to teach in the Osseo School District. She was an art teacher at Northview Junior High in Brooklyn Park. On Thursday, we will sit down with Ladoff to talk with her about her experience on that big stage. Well, coming up, creative ways to keep kids busy and entertained. That's coming up next in Business Matters. Then later in sports, Osseo finds going tough against Totino-Grace in prep football. But first, hang on to your hats. 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts expected on Tuesday. How businesses handle their trash will be impacted by a new state law that takes effect in January. More businesses will be required to recycle. Every day, as much as 600 tons of garbage is dumped at the Brooklyn Park transfer station. Most of it is taken downtown to be burned. But it's the size of these piles that recycling advocates want to reduce. Beginning in January, any business in the metro area that generates 4 cubic yards of trash in a week must start recycling if it's not doing so already.
Over half of the waste produced in Hennepin County is by the commercial sector. So in that sense, that's where we need their help and their contribution to not only recycle more, but reduce their trash as well.
Hennepin County offers free help for companies setting up a recycling system. There are also grants that businesses can apply for, but be careful about that. That money goes fast. The goal is for metro counties to recycle and compost 75% of solid waste by 2030. That is up from 50% now. A new Plymouth business started by 2 moms is delivering ideas for activities that parents and kids can do together. In this week's Business Matters report, Alexandra Renslow takes a look at Blossom Box Kids.
What shape do you think you want to do for your kite?
Stay-at-home moms Bethany Wilde and Nikki Anderson understand the challenge of coming up with activities that engage their kids.
I think if the activity isn't ready to go, a lot of times the process of getting it to that point, the kids kind of lose interest.
It's out of their own experiences as moms that the idea for a business blossomed.
We are looking at a Blossom Box Kids box.
Blossom Box Kids is an activity subscription service that delivers delivers a monthly box full of activities, supplies, and ideas kids and parents can do together.
So each month we provide a newsletter that Nikki and I write together.
Each box has a theme. Take, for example, a recent one on flowers that included a wildflower planting, flower stamping, and flower mobile.
And we had the little card with the suggested instructions on there, and we also have a list of all the materials that are on there too. And then this one had contact paper and fake flowers.
With a background in early childhood education, Bethany Wilde thinks it's important each craft is open-ended, allowing kids to be creative rather than focused on an end result. Materials in the box are often recyclable too and include ideas for repurposing things at home.
So for example, we had a plastic bottle greenhouse using a water, milk, or vinegar jug.
In less than a year's time, and thanks to online efforts, including reviews from parent bloggers, Blossom Box Kids has signed on 60 regular subscribers from around the country.
One thing that our business is really striving for is just to provide that one-on-one bonding time with parent and child.
As these moms slowly grow their business, they're able to brainstorm and test market ideas with their own kids, just as they hope their service helps others spend quality time with their kids.
A lot of parents are just kind of lost as to what to do during that bonding time.
In Plymouth, Alexandra Renslow, 12 News.
We're probably not going to do painting now. We could do
The nature-themed boxes are designed for kids ages 3 to 9. They cost $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Well, coming up, why this year will be perfect for fall colors. But first in sports, the Wayzata football team scores a win over a big rival. John Jacobson has the highlights and more when we come back. High school football teams already have 4 games under their belts, and for Wayzata, a pretty good 4 games.
4 up and 4 down so far.
Yeah.
Trojans playing very well right now, Mike. The Wayzata football team didn't want any kind of a letdown following a come-from-behind win against a very good Prairie Lake team in Week 3. And they weren't likely to get one in their rivalry game at Minnetonka. Good first drive of the game for the Trojans. Quarterback Jake Marsh in 4th down throws to Grant Slavic. He breaks a tackle, goes 25 yards down to the Minnetonka 9-yard line. A couple of plays later, it's Marsh to Brady Galbraith for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Trojans. Second quarter, Wayzata's defense brings the heat on Tonka quarterback Garrett Olson. His pass intercepted by Sam LaRose. He'll bring it back deep into Minnetonka territory. A few plays later, it's Keyshawn Alexuk running it in from 3 yards out, and the Trojans lead it 14-3 at halftime. First play of the second half, the Trojans defensive end, Corey King, into the Tonka backfield, forcing a fumble. Nick Kramer recovers, and Wayzata has it at the Tonka 18. Next play, it's Marsh going to the end zone. Galbraith fights for the ball and brings it in for a touchdown, and it's 21-3 Wayzata. The Trojans add one more score in the game. They win at 28-10 and take the Bay Bell Trophy in the team's 68th meeting all time. Maple Grove gave Eden Prairie a great test in the state Class 6A semifinals last season before falling. The Crimson took aim at the Eagles Friday night in Eden Prairie. Trailing 7-3, Maple Grove driving deep, Brad Davison rolling and throwing it in the end zone, but J.D. Spielman comes up with the interception, and the Eagles lead at 7-3 at the half. Second half, Alec Hetherington makes a tough run here for the Eagles, powering through for a 12-yard touchdown, and Eden Prairie's lead grows to 14-3. Maple Grove moves the ball pretty well, and they finish the drive here. Davison with a screen to Ryan Hanscom, and he gets to the end zone. Crimson pull within 14-10 in the third quarter. But Eden Prairie takes the momentum back on the ensuing kickoff. Spielman, who already had a punt return for a touchdown, does it again. Tremendous speed for the Nebraska Pound senior. Spielman goes 85 yards for a touchdown, and it's 21-10 Eden Prairie. Maple Grove fights back again as Hanscom gets in for the score, but Eden Prairie holds off the Crimson 28-20. Maple Grove plays Wayzata this week. Osseo and Totino-Grace battled for West Division titles in the Northwest Suburban Conference the past couple of seasons. We've now switched to district football, but this remains a good rivalry. They met up at Totino-Grace. First quarter, Ivan Burlak fires out of the backfield, goes 13 yards for the Grace touchdown. Osseo trying to get it back here, but the pass is intercepted in the end zone by Nolan Nielsen for the Eagles. Grace adds to the lead. Burlack in for another Eagle score, and it's 14-0. Osseo gets on the board in the second quarter on a 4-yard touchdown run by Deshaun Kelly. Late third quarter, Kyle Halverson launches a 41-yard strike to Burlack, putting Grace on top 28-14. And Burlack isn't done. A nice second effort gets the junior another touchdown to put the Eagles in front 35-14, and that's the final score. Grace is now 3-1 on the season. At Park Center, the Pirates hosted Armstrong. Evan McClellan in from 8 yards out on Armstrong's first possession, and it's quickly 7-0 Falcons. The Armstrong defense brings pressure here on PC's Carl Altenberg. His pass intercepted by Noah Worden. And the ensuing drive is capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run. Carter Reed in for a score, and it's 21-0 Falcons. Great pursuit and tackle here by Armstrong's Jack Leas. And this is a safety for the Falcons. Collis Barber will float a pass for Nathan Ball for a 14-yard touchdown strike, putting Armstrong up 37-0. Park Center battles back some, but Armstrong rebounds from a loss to Cooper to win at 44-26. Two local volleyball teams were part of a strong field Friday and Saturday at the Southwest Minnesota Volleyball Challenge. At the 32-team tournament in Marshall, Wayzata defeated Champlin Park in the third-place match. The loss for the Rebels followed a semifinal loss to Prairie Lake. Wayzata lost in the semis to Lakeville South. Champlin Park came into the tournament ranked number 1 in Class 3A. Wayzata's come on strong now after a slow start to the season. Lakeville South then beat Prairie Lake in 3 to win the tournament. And let's look at sports for today, Mike.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
Still ahead, why fall colors will be extra colorful. We'll be right back. Autumn is closer than you think, and the DNR is predicting a spectacular fall color season this year. Most of the state has had close to or above average rainfall for summer, making for healthy trees going into the fall. Experts say that should help brighten the fall colors all across the state. In fact, the DNR website now has an online map showing where and when to find the peak colors. That map is updated every Thursday by staff members at Minnesota's state parks. It felt a little like fall this weekend, and you know that may have contributed to a big turnout for the Osseo Roar Lions Parade.
That was on Saturday. It was fun to see everyone turn out. And as we say goodbye, here's a quick look at some of the people our crew saw along the way.